welcome back to another episode of the Purpose Show podcast featuring Phoebe. If you're watching the video, if you're not, she's not going to be featured because my pop filter is really good and filters out all the background noise. But you can see her squishy, wrinkly face if you're watching this on YouTube. Okay. We're going to talk about stop sabotaging your own success and getting out of your own friggin' way. So, if you have felt like or are feeling like you get like this close to finally changing and getting in a rhythm and getting in a flow or hitting a goal, but something always trips you up, that is self-sabotage. We're going to talk about it today. And spoiler alert, it's probably you standing in your own way. Unless you have somebody in your life that low-key hates you and is sabotaging. Unfortunately, a lot of my audience has a husband like this, which is a whole nother episode for another day. But if it's you and you're the saboteur, don't worry, I have got you. We're going to get into how to stop that self-sabotage cycle and really, honestly, babe, it's just letting yourself win. So by the end of this, you're going to know exactly how to identify your self-sabotage patterns, kick them to the fucking curb, and start moving towards your goals without dragging yourself down and being your own problem. So first thing first, let's define what we're even talking about here. Self-sabotage is a very common term, but just to get really clear, it is when you have gotten everything lined up for you to succeed at something, but somehow you keep putting roadblocks in your own path. You might manifest sickness right before you're about to do something you've worked so hard for. You might create a fight with your partner because things got too good in your business, or vice versa, whatever. Self-sabotage shows up in a lot of different ways. It can look like procrastination, perfectionism, avoiding challenges, or picking fights when things are going well. So this sounds familiar to even me, but we at least are getting aware of it so we can shift that shit. Self-sabotage has snuck, I don't think snuck is a word, sneaked into my life in many different ways over the years. And some of it is like patterns. Everyone has a pattern of how they usually self-sabotage. So one of mine used to be, I'm really aware of this one now. And I think I can kind of honestly say like I don't do it anymore. I might start, but I notice it so quickly it goes away immediately because I fix it. But one of my big ones used to be whenever I had like a really good day, maybe I had like a really good like meet up with a friend or a really good business day or finished like a big launch and it went well, I would pick a fight in my relationship. So it would either be like in my marriage when Brian and I were married or, in my relationship with Sean or whatever's going on. And it sucked. It sucked and it was so dumb because in the moment I would legitimately feel like upset about something that was like, I knew it was so silly, but I was so ingrained in this self-sabotaging pattern that I couldn't see clearly that I was acting insane. So that was a really common one for me. That's a really common one for a lot of women, but that was a one that I would kind of like subconsciously go to a lot until I recognized it and stopped the pattern. So now if I ever like start that, I can recognize it and I stop it pretty much immediately. It's really nice. Self-awareness is chef's kiss. So a lot of us have these things that we do, and a lot of us also have some of them that are patterns. So why do we do this to ourselves? Most of the time, the root of self-sabotage is fear. We fear success. We fear failure. We fear change. And it all boils down to one thing: your motherfucking brain. Our brains love comfort zones, and anything outside of our comfort zone feels like a threat. So believe it or not, succeeding can feel just as scary as failing. What's going to change? What are people going to think about me? Can I handle it? Isn't that going to lead to a lot for me to manage? And fear of failure, this one's obvious. What if I go all in and I fall flat on my face and everybody knows and everyone talks about it and I fail myself, I fail my family, I fail whoever or whatever. Fear of change, the other common one. Even change that's good can be really intimidating because our brains love familiarity, even if it is not serving you. You're gonna be unconsciously moving toward the familiar toxic situation than the healthy, unfamiliar situation. So the best thing I can invite you to do is to get curious about your fears. And don't identify with them and stop making them so serious, and instead kind of move into the energy of, interesting. Well, what's the worst thing that could happen if I succeed? Like, seriously, specifically, what could happen if I succeed? Okay. And if I fail? And kind of just like get curious and play this game with your fear, and like naming your fear already takes away some of its power. But then like getting kind of inquisitive and curious about it, and just like removing yourself from like not identifying with it, and then just like getting like, okay, well, like specifically what is the worst that could happen? And like just play devil's advocate with your fear. It really just like removes the power from the thing that you're afraid of and puts it back where it belongs, in your hands. Okay. The other thing, we got to recognize what our self-sabotage patterns are. And you may already have one or two kind of coming up, but you want to really notice any that exist. You can't fix what you don't notice. So let's shine a light on those kind of like sneaky little ways that you've been tripping yourself up that might not be as like blaringly obvious. Procrastination is a huge one. Procrastination is self-sabotage. You're putting off the work because it feels uncomfortable or scary. I'll start tomorrow. No, you won't. Perfectionism. You keep tweaking, you keep refining, but you never actually finish, or you never actually launch. You never actually do the thing. Next common one, overcommitting. Piling on way too much on your plate so that you have an excuse for not doing the things that really matter. This is a big one for me, and I didn't realize it until somewhat recently. I was just the queen of like inventing tasks that felt like emergency level. Like, oh my God, I have to do this. This is so bad. I have to fix this. And I would create it in a way where I like really believed it. Like I really had to get this done. It was so imperative, but really my subconscious was trying to keep me safe, keep me familiar, keep me in my comfort zone. And I was creating a bunch of random tasks and piling my plate way too high so that I had an excuse to not do the things that were going to move me towards this new unfamiliar zone that was good for me. I feel like that one's going to resonate with you guys a lot, and you're going to be like having a light bulb moment. So if you do, make sure you send me a DM, share it with me. I want to hear about it because I love this shit. And I love when I have a realization like that about myself, because it means I can do something about it. Another common one, avoiding success. Distracting yourself or pulling back right when things start to go well. Does that resonate? So the challenge here is I want you to spend today just noticing your habits. Where are you self-sabotaging? Because self-sabotage, if you have this pattern in you, it's going to show up in some way, even if it's just small, every day. So notice it and get inquisitive. Like, interesting. Why? Okay, now let's get into breaking this shit up, breaking the cycle. It is all about two things: awareness and action, baby. Okay. That is what we need. You have to start recognizing the patterns and making conscious choices to do things differently. So first, acknowledge it. When you catch yourself self-sabotaging, call it out. There I go, trying to avoid this important task again. Number two, choose differently. Choose to do the thing that feels hard and sit in the discomfort and let it come with you while you do the thing. One tiny action in the right direction is all it takes to shift momentum. You're creating a surge of new action, so you'll create a surge of new results. 3, get comfortable with the discomfort. Self-sabotage happens because change feels scary. So learn to lean into that discomfort and trust that you can handle it. And that your brain is signaling fight or flight, and it's trying to help you, but it's okay. It can be doing that while it goes with you to do this new thing and reach this new goal, reach this next level. 4, set up accountability. Tell somebody your goals and have them check in on your progress. If you know someone's watching, you're more likely to follow through. Scientific fact. Now, at the root of self-sabotage is the belief, fear, that we're not good enough, not smart enough, not worthy of success, right? And that's not reality. It's just old programming. And we love some good news, right? we can rewire that. So again, I'm pointing you back to the daily reprogramming ritual. Visualization. Your brain communicates in visuals and it receives messages in visuals. So when you spend a few minutes each day seeing yourself succeeding in your goal, you picture it, you feel it, you live it in your mind first. It's teaching your brain to be familiar with this new version of you that does this thing, that's accomplishing these things, that's living this new life. It makes the comfort zone expire and forms a new comfort zone. And the new comfort zone is in the goal realized that you really want. You can literally create a new comfort zone in your brain so that when you are actively going to do this thing, your brain is like, oh yeah, we've done this before. We're good. It literally thinks you've done it before because it can't tell the difference between reality and imagination. It's a magic hack that everybody should be using every day. Affirm yourself. Repeat positive, empowering statements to help rewire those old limiting beliefs. Start speaking about yourself and to yourself differently. It is so fucking easy. You are already using your words to form your life. You might as well do it in a way that's helpful and positive. Okay? So maybe you have an affirmation like, I am worthy of massive success and I'm ready to receive it. Something like that. Let that be kind of a template for your affirmation. I am worthy of end result, goal, desired outcome, and I am ready to receive it. Okay, now here's kind of like the secret sauce. Success isn't just about doing the right thing. Success in your goals, success with your health, success with your relationship, success with whatever goal it is. It's not just about doing the right things. It's about being the right person energetically. So emotional rehearsal is going to help you big time here. Practice feeling how you'll feel when you hit your goals. Again, letting your brain get used to the idea that success in this goal is actually safe and familiar and normal, and all the resistance and fear is coming up, but you're really just laying on your bed or driving in your car imagining that you're doing a thing. Okay. And then energy check every day. How are you showing up each day? Are you carrying the energy of the version of yourself who already has reached this goal? Or are you still carrying the energy of the old expired edition of you? Because if you are, then that's what you're going to stay in. Okay. Emotional and energetic alignment has made a huge difference in my life and my business. In many ways. Trust me, this is everything. Self-sabotage is very sneaky. It's very sneaky, but once you know how to spot it, you're in full control. You don't have to stay stuck. You can choose to succeed every single day in any goal you want by making those small shifts. So, identify one self-sabotage pattern that you are breaking starting today and take a small action toward your goal. Get out of your own way and start showing up for your success. Okay. Next episode, we're going to be diving into the power of habits and how to create daily routines that support your biggest goals. You're not going to want to miss it. And again, the collective is opening soon. It's opening in just a matter of weeks. The doors have been closed for months. I've been getting DMs every week asking when it's opening. The doors are opening soon. I'll be sharing more details on how you can be a part of that. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears to the ground. We're going in and we are creating a massive transformation for you. But for now, we're starting on the podcast. So I'll see you in the next episode for the power of habits and creating daily routines that support you and your goals. I love you, friend. You're doing great. See you next time.